Good morning, tubers. Matt M. Roy back once again. Back to you with another angle here. Change this up a little bit. Went back to the Dell XPS 8700 for this one. Let me go ahead and shut the door real quick because I can already hear there's going to be a lot of background noise. So hang on a second, folks. All right, everybody, back with you all. And yeah, we're kind of oversaturated with light here. So let me, oh my goodness, I just turned my monitor off. Whoops. Oh, it's been an interesting few days. I can slowly feel my sanity just washing away from my body. I'm telling you, folks, it's really getting to that point. I have had major withdrawals, thrift store withdrawals, social withdrawals. I mean, no matter what I can think of, I can exercise. That's been the one saving grace, to be honest with you. I cannot believe that it has been almost a month since we've been doing the social distancing. It's absolutely crazy, but let's see how many people we're going to get here right now. I don't know how many of you got the notification for this live stream. I didn't put it out or anything. Like, I didn't advertise it. I just wanted to do one right now. I don't know, folks. My mind just is not working very well right now. I am taking my medication, though, so that's a good thing. You know, as long as I'm on my meds, I'll usually be okay. And you guys... I'm telling you, folks, it is surreal out there. One of the latest updates from the government now, most of us have gotten our stimulus checks. If you have a direct deposit from the IRS, in other words, you get your tax refund via direct deposit, then you should have already received the $1,200 stimulus check. Now, not all of them have gotten out to people. I just got mine the other day. People that are going to get the physical check, it could take up to 6 months. But Democrats specifically in Congress are already talking about a second round of stimulus payments. And we're talking about an even greater amount. What they're asking for. Yeah, not necessarily what they're going to get. They want $2,000 per month for up to 6 months to help subsidize this whole situation that's out there. And people have asked me, what do I think about that? And I have two sides of the equation here. And one, I get it. I mean, people are struggling right now financially more than ever. Unemployment is up 60%. I mean, think about that, folks. 60% of what it was just months before this happened. So people are struggling. They can't even pay the rent. So I get that there are people out there that need it. And believe me, I'm one of them, folks. I didn't sneeze at the $1,200 that I got. I'm not going to sneeze at if we get $2,000. So that's the one side. The other side of this being, this is going to put our country in a massive amount of debt, even worse than it is now, because where is this money coming from? Well, this money is coming from the national debt. There is no money. In other words, there's no money out there. People seem to think that we're the most prosperous nation in the world. You know, we have as much money as we want. No, we print money. And that we have to add on to something. We went off the gold standard back in the 80s. So we're printing money and we have to do something with the debt. That just gets added on to the national debt. And if I look it up, national debt. Okay, let's see. Let's open up the national debt calculator. So the national debt, you ready for this? I mean, 23 trillion, 315 billion, 176 million, and then it just keeps going up from there. We're already at 178 million. So all of this stimulus money is going to be going on to the national debt. Don't let anybody tell you any different. It's not going to happen. And WW Soul said it perfectly right there. They are printing more money, and that's the only way you can get money for this. So that's the other side of this. So what does that mean? Well, that means that our children, our children's children, and probably our children's children's children, so we're talking 2 to 3 generations, are going to have to pay that money back. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, money doesn't fall out of the sky. You know, it goes on a national debt, and then it has to come back somewhere. I honestly don't see any other way out of this, though. There's been a lot of discussion, a lot of debate, even around my personal household, as to what we can do to try to stimulate the economy, short of giving out more of these stimulus payments. I'm coming up blank unless we reopen the economy. That's about the only thing we can do right now, is reopen the economy. Hang on a second. I'm still not happy with this lighting. I'm going to go ahead and shut these blinds, see if this helps. See if that helps us out a little bit there. It was just kind of oversaturating the image sensor on this webcam. Maybe we can adjust it a little bit more like that. Yeah, I'm always fighting with the lighting in here. It's crazy. But okay, either way you look at it, that's one of the things that's going to have to happen. And I'm going to pull up while we're waiting for some more people to come, because honestly, I don't have anything else to do today. So we can talk, we can chat, we can do whatever you guys want to. If we get a lot of people here, that's great. If not, I'll probably end it early and try this a little bit later on. Let me get into the YouTube studio right here, see what we can come up with. Oh, got a lot of heartburn right now. I made my 15 bean soup, folks, and that is great, but man, does that have a lot of vegetables that give you the gas. It gives you the gas. We're watching this new TV show out there called Indebted, starring Fran Drescher, Steven Weber from Wings, and 2 people actors I've never seen before. But anyway, they did this episode where the parents are gossipers. They live for that next piece of gossip. So what they did is the daughter, who was a lesbian, apparently, brought home a girl that hated gossip. And the parents kept saying, "Oh no, you can't get rid of the goss. You got to keep the goss going. The goss is what keeps us going, is what keeps us motivated to go from one day to the next." And I'm not going to give any spoilers out about this, because you guys may want to watch it yourselves sometime, but it's a really, really funny show. I got to look and see what station that's on. Indebted is on NBC, and it's not getting the greatest ratings. Rotten Tomatoes actually gives it 25%, believe it or not. That's actually really funny. But it's worth a watch. It's really, really funny. And what they've actually done, they've actually aired 3 episodes. I'm guessing because of the current situation, they aired those episodes early. So you got, like, if you have a DVR and you subscribe to that, you have like a season pass for the show, then you got like 3 or 4 episodes all at once. So you can kind of binge watch some of that. Some of these comments really throw me for a loop. Most of you out there are brilliant, by the way. I love my YouTube base, but I tell you, some of these people are really, really weird. Like I get these random comments like "Yo suck." Not even you suck. I mean, the trolls can't even get. They can't even spell you right. They have to go "Yo suck." Yo suck. Yo suck. Yeah. Yeah. Can you guys tell I'm losing my sanity? I'm telling you, I had to do a live stream right now because I think a lot of us just don't have anything to do, and I think we could just have some fun. Eric's Variety Channel, on my way to go get pizza, can't stay long. That's cool. I actually saw your live stream the other night, Eric. I was watching it, but I couldn't comment because a lot of times I'll watch YouTube now on my flat screen smart TV, so there's no keyboard on there, so I can't comment. But I was there. I promise you I was there. You too, WW Souls. Stay safe out there. Brian Thoreau said they got some snow. Yeah, I heard a lot of people were possibly going to be getting snow. Not necessarily this early, but like this afternoon. Parts of the Midwest and well, right now they are, but later on it was going to be like Kentucky, Tennessee, and then up towards Pennsylvania, New York, and the Northeast are supposed to get snow. George Blakely is here. So we got 6 watchers right now. Okay, we'll keep this going for a little bit. I don't know how many people are interested. Remember to click that like button, folks. If you really enjoy these videos, these live streams, click that like button. And I am going to try to do some more vlogs when I get the motivation up to do it. Today, after this live stream, I do need to do one thing, and that is I need to do a differential service on the Yukon, a front differential service, which isn't that hard. You just need gear oil, and basically it's like changing your oil out. You got the plug on top, the fill plug, you take that out, and then you got the drain plug, then you take that out. The second, basically it's the fill plug and the drain plug, and you drain it out and you just pump new fluid in. And the secret I found is you actually have to, well, you're supposed to wait. You have both plugs out. Once you drain the old fluid, you start pumping the new fluid in the top, and then you let it drip out the bottom just a little bit until it starts to get clear, and then you go ahead and put the drain plug back in, and you just fill it back up until it spits out of the fill plug. But it's something I need to do because I haven't really done it on there before, and I don't know when it was done last. And being that's an electronic front differential, I don't want a chance having problems with it in the future because they can really become expensive to rebuild if you ever had to or replace. Oh, I got a bunch of people saying hi to each other. So getting back to what I was talking about before, when it comes to this stimulus money that the government is doling out, and I say doling out because they think of it as a gift. It's like something you're getting because, oh, we're the benevolent government. We need to provide for our people. We need to make sure that they are taken care of. Yeah, those of you out there that have watched it for any time know that I am definitely not a proponent of government assistance, if at all possible, because the government doesn't usually never does the best job at that. Let's be perfectly honest, folks. The government doesn't manage money well, and it's not really designed to. I mean, it'd be great if they did, but it's taxation basically. And I would not be surprised if this next round of stimulus money gets passed, that we don't see some higher taxes, especially on the higher income wage earners, which some of you out there might be okay with that. It just depends on your philosophy. But you got to remember, the more you tax the rich, the worse it is on the poor, because then the rich can't afford to hire the poor or the middle class to work for them, basically. So it's a double-edged sword there. What'd you do? Oh, man, I wish you guys could see Milo. He is so cute right now. He's laying on the bed. Just rolling over, paws out like this. Oh, it's so cute. Bunch of people wishing me happy Easter over the last few days. I really need to put my glasses back on. I'm having a really hard time seeing right now. I think because of the allergies. How many of you out there are kind of suffering with some allergies right now? All right, so I'm done with that. There's no comments worth reading right now. Tech talk. Okay. This is, believe it or not, a really good time to stock up on tech. And I'm not just talking about, laptops, tablets, things like that, but even things like computer components. Companies right now are struggling. They can't physically open. So what are they doing? They're posting all their stock online. So sites like Amazon, eBay, they have a humongous influx of parts right now. And I'll give you an example. I just picked up on eBay. These are Dell branded ATI Radeon HD 8490 graphics cards. They have 1 gigabyte of DDR3 memory. And I got these. Hang on, let me make sure I get this price right here. They were asking $12.49 a piece, and I made them an offer of $8.50 a piece for 12 of them, and they accepted that, which is actually a really, really good deal. Now, those of you out there may be saying, "Yeah, Matt, but that's an older graphics card. I mean, it's an 8000 series Radeon chipset in there with only a gig of memory." Well, I'll tell you something, folks. I have actually played modern games with this exact card. Specifically, right off the top of my head, I can think Fortnite. Most of you would probably think this card would not be good at all for Fortnite, but this exact card, with the latest version of Fortnite, you can play it on medium-low settings. So some of the shaders would have to be set to low, but the majority of everything's set to medium with decent frame rates. And if I remember correctly, the last computer I set up for somebody that wanted to play Fortnite, it was a budget build. So basically, they didn't have a lot of money to spend, and I set them up with it was a Dell Optiplex 7020, I believe. Had a Core i5 2400, so it was a Sandy Bridge, 2nd gen, and I put this card in with 8 gigs of RAM and one of those PNY CS900 240 gig SSDs. And do you know, I set everything in Fortnite to medium settings, and I wound up getting, on average, about 42 FPS. I'm not kidding. So if you're looking for a budget card that still is decent to play some newer games, the Radeon HD 8490 is a very, very good card for that purpose. All right, I was debating whether or not to share this link because I know some people are going to go on there and buy them, but you know what? That's fine. In this time, this situation that we're having, we need to be very charitable to everybody. I mean, that's just the way it goes, folks. Please don't forget, click that thumbs up button. Help me out a little bit. I just got to Pat's Pizza. Have a good day, Matt, and stay safe. You too. Enjoy some pizza. And that's very important, too, now. You want to make sure that you are enjoying yourself. Now, eating healthy, don't get me wrong. Eating healthy right now is more important than ever to get your immune system going. You want to have things like fruits, vegetables, fiber, all the good stuff that the nutritionists and the doctors are always saying that we need to have in our diet. It's even more imperative now because those are the things that raise your immunity. That being said, in this for mental health anyway, in this day and age, you need to make sure that you treat yourself. Like today, I had a couple of Reese's eggs because I went to Walmart yesterday and the day before, and the Easter candy was 50% off. Now, normally I would stock up because I dole it out. You know, I have maybe a serving, which is usually 2 eggs each day as a little treat. But this year it was really bad because of the situation. They had almost all their candy left. Nobody went out and bought Easter candy, apparently. I guess they maybe went on Amazon and ordered it online or something. I got a large tip from a customer that paid for this. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, and I noticed that these types of situations, and that's the way I'm going to call it, they tend to bring out the best in people. And I hope that I'm doing the best that I possibly can. With what I do, I feel that these live streams maybe help people out. That's kind of my contribution to all this. I don't have a kind of job to where I can really help out a great deal during these situations. But even that being said, the fact that I'm able to get these computers out to people at a really decent price, I'm kind of doing my own, how can I say this? I'm benefiting mankind to the best of my ability. And I hope everybody out there is doing the same thing. And, if you see somebody out there, maybe that's homeless, and I see a lot of people out there, and you have a couple of dollars to spare, maybe go ahead and help them out. Because even, during this difficult time, it's worse on them than it is for most of us. We should all be counting our blessings that we have a roof over our head for the most part, and food to eat. Because what does Dave Ramsey say? Take care of the shelter and your food first, and then worry about everything else later on. Wow, that clock is really, really loud. So, what is everybody? I got a question what is everybody wanting to do first thing when the world opens back up? That's something I'm very curious about. We still got 6 people here, so I might go to about 30 minutes, and then we'll end this. But I might even try to do one a little bit later, folks. I think that this is something that we all desperately need right now, is to have a diversion. And while I'm waiting for that, I will tell you that I am very interested in something that is for sale on Marketplace. And it's right down the road from me, but I just don't have the money at the moment to buy it. It is a computer that I have wanted my entire life, never owned one. I've used to use them in school. And that is, I don't know if I should tell you, because I may wind up buying it. Okay, I'll spill the beans. It's a vintage Apple IIe computer. This one comes with 2 5.25-inch floppy drives, even has the 3.5, and even comes with an external, looks like an extra external floppy drive, unless that's the box for one of the ones that they have out there. And this is the special edition. This is the Apple IIe from, I think it was like 1986 and later. It's the wider one that has the number pad and has more memory and a slightly faster processor. Now, the negative is this thing is in rough looking shape. It's yellowed really, really bad, although now that I look at it closely, the keyboard appears to be in excellent shape. And the only other thing that I would have went out, and I kid you not, I don't care. I would have found the money. I would have went out yesterday and bought this. The only thing that's holding me back is it has the monochrome monitor. I've always wanted one of these with the color monitor. And I mean, it's not a big deal. I could always go on eBay and buy one. And if I get this, that's probably what I'll do. But honestly, that's just an added expense that that I just can't handle right now. So I'm not saying this is a definite, folks, but there's a good chance in the near future, if I do pick this up, you guys are going to see some really, really interesting videos of this computer. And the first game I want to get for this is the original Oregon Trail, because I remember one of my fondest memories from when I was in school, and we're talking back in the late 80s, early 90s, is playing the 1985 version of the Oregon Trail on an Apple II computer. And I believe the first time I played it was on an Apple II Plus, which was the predecessor to the 2E and the 2C and then the 2GS. But love that game. I could spend hours playing that game. How many of you out there remember that, the Oregon Trail? I'm going to turn this gain down a little bit. I think I'm kind of clipping here. But you know what? I may need to just bite the bullet and see what he says. As a matter of fact, let me do this real quick. I'm going to send a message to him, see if there's if he has any flexibility on the price, because if he does, I may wind up going over there and getting it today, because you know what? It's so stupid. It's if it works, I mean, it is literally right down the street from me, and I think you guys would love to see this computer. So how many of you out there would love to see me get this Apple IIe and do some videos about it? I know, Eric, I believe you actually have one, or maybe it's a 2C, but I do remember that that you have it. Okay, so he's not flexible at all on the price. Okay, well, we'll see. I'll tell you what, folks, if I wind up selling a computer later on today, I'm going to go over and purchase that. That's my promise to you guys out there. If I wind up selling one more Tower Day, I'm going to take that money and I'm going to put it towards that Apple, because I think that would be really, really cool. Oh, he's maybe interested in a trade. I collect vintage action figures. What do I have? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. I do have... let me see if you want some of my Commodore 64 stuff. And disk drives. And tons of... and I say lots of games. But lots of games. My typing leaves a lot to be desired. Now we'll see what happens. So we still got 8 people here. Hey, Steven. I'm doing all right. Getting a little cabin fever, but I'm trying. I'm trying. I think that's the best any of us can do right now is just to try to get through this. But you know what? The social networking helps, and I think back to a time before we had YouTube, the internet, smartphones, like back during the Spanish flu times, like in the early 1900s. I mean, what did people do when they had to be isolated, quarantined? I mean, they must have went stir crazy. I mean, at least here we can talk to each other, we can converse, different things like that. Now it doesn't want any Commodore stuff. All right, let me see if that works out. If, like I said, if I sell a computer today, I might go ahead and pull the trigger on that. Yeah, I wish it was a different time, because if we weren't going through this, I already been over there and bought this thing, because it's been a dream of mine for years, but there's nothing I can do with what's going on in the world right now. Oh, you better believe it, George. Thrift stores are going to be number 1 on my list once everything opens back up again. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Isn't it terrible? I don't even know what else to talk about. Like, the days are just kind of running through one by one by one by one, and I have to actually look at my Fitbit to know that it's Friday. Like, if I didn't look at my Fitbit, I wouldn't even know that it was Friday. It's getting to that point. Stephen Barber, how are HP printers? I just bought an HP OfficeJet Pro 9015. I have used the Lexmark printers for many years. Very good printer, but I need to upgrade. HP makes a good printer. That being said, they're not as good as they used to be. The modern HP printers tend to suffer from roller failure. In other words, the pickup rollers that pick up the paper, those are the ones that tend to degrade pretty quickly. They're using subpar like rubber on those, and I've seen a lot of them after a year or two. You have to replace the rollers, and the worst part of it is the only way you can do that is to pray that HP had that particular printer out long enough that they put out a maintenance kit. And even if they did, a lot of times the maintenance kits cost as much as the printers. The OfficeJet Pro, now let me see, I'm not sure if is that an inkjet or is that a laser jet? Let me see. That's an inkjet printer. Okay. Yeah. And those are the ones that I'm primarily talking about. So the LaserJet printers, they're always worth, for the most part, repairing, and they're pretty easy to repair. Maintenance kits are still expensive, but because the printers themselves will last longer, it's generally worth putting the cost of repairing them into it. But with the inkjet printers, they're throwaway items. I get clients ask me all the time, like, Matt, do you do printer repair? And I'm like, yes, but only laser jets, not inkjets. And I kid you not, like 60-70% of the time when they tell me, yeah, it's a laser jet, let me bring it by, they bring it by, it's an inkjet printer, and I have to burst their bubble and say, I can't fix it. I won't fix it. And a few of them have been really upset because they're like, oh, but I love this printer. I've had this printer for forever, for 10, 15 years. I think it's just a print head or it's just a roller. It doesn't matter. They're just, even if I could find the parts, which for an inkjet printer that old you can't, if I could find the parts, it would cost so much for me to rebuild that. You could buy 3 or 4 brand new ones. So that being said, they're decent printers, but they're just throwaway printers once they go bad. I don't know what that noise is. I wonder if the AC came on for the house. I've been hearing it's like a whooshing sound. All right, folks. You know what? I think we're going to end it here. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing okay. I'm trying to stay sane. Hope everybody had a great time. Maybe try to do one of these later on, either that or tomorrow. Just stay tuned. Make sure you click the subscribe button and also the bell icon next to it to enable notifications. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.